The finale is coming. So what do we still need to know? A lot of people are worried that the ending... Why did I make that sound? Goodness. That the ending won't be satisfying because there's only one episode left. Of course, that was before we knew it was an hour long, but still. So I'm going to go over everything we still need to know. This is also just a nice way to catch up on everything before watching the finale. Also, I know I said everything, but this is probably not actually everything. I was honestly rushing to get this done in time because I procrastinated for so long. I did this in a week, so it might not be as thorough as I wanted it to be. So anyway, let's start. Also, spoiler warning up until episode 8. Go watch the show if you haven't. It's amazing. Can they leave the circus? So the question from the very beginning, the ultimate answer. And that answer is most likely no. Yeah, there's so much proof in the digital copies theory. You can't ignore it. That's what I believe. And of course, there's that one thing you said about meaning in stagnant life, which to me implies that they aren't leaving. I guess this could also be everything prior to leaving, like how throughout the series they've grown to care about each other, in a world where nothing else really means anything. But there's also the potential that they could leave, although very slim chances. How would they leave? Well, if they could leave, how would they do it? We already saw the entirety of episode 7, and I'm guessing none of that is what would actually happen. 1, because, I don't know, it just seems a little weird, but 2, we saw it. It already happened. And since it was just an adventure, I doubt Caine would know how to actually leave. So what other options are there? Well, there's this very suspicious scene that has made many people wonder, could they leave if they put the headset back on? It's not a bad theory. It's pretty decent. What about abstractions? Maybe leaving the game makes your avatar abstract. Since their bodies are designed for their mind files, if they left the game, there would be nothing to base off of, therefore causing the avatar to default to an abstracted form. Or the other way around. Once they abstract, they leave the game. How about going into the void? It kind of makes sense, especially when, in the pilot, it zooms out like this. You go out into the world, you go out into the void. Although this could just be implying that that's where they exist. What are their names? Not much theories here. Pretty straightforward question. I personally haven't really thought about it much, and therefore have no theories, but Kinger's name has basically been revealed. What are abstractions? I talked about this a little early, but there are still other options. Obviously, there's the simple option. They really have basically died, and there's nothing that can be done, like we've been led to believe. But I guess maybe there is something that can reverse it, although I think Goose confirmed that abstractions are irreversible, but I could be wrong. And then maybe Caine caused the abstractions. Directly. Obviously, he could have been unintentionally driving them insane, but I don't think he caused them directly. He was never actually evil. Until episode 8, of course. But, you know, what's the window reflection? If you somehow haven't noticed, there are window reflections in all of the characters' eyes. I surprisingly don't really have much to say here, but whatever it is definitely intentional. Does 57 actually mean something? The number 57 appears in every episode, sometimes more than once. It's probably just some random thing that they do, but maybe it actually means something. I have no idea what that could be, but maybe. What happens when Jax holds his breath? It's probably not plot relevant, but maybe it is. You never know. I would still like to know. I'm sure you would like to know. Honestly, there are a lot of things that probably won't be answered in the finale that Goose may answer once the show is over. What is Caine's purpose? You may be thinking this is obvious. I feel like it's said multiple times in the show, but always a little different. Caine says his only purpose is to make adventures. Someone at some point said he was just supposed to keep humans happy. I think. I'm pretty sure that happened. So, I don't know. I feel like this isn't really relevant anymore, considering he's dead now. Who suggested the stargazing adventure? So for a very long time, people thought it was obvious that Kinger suggested the stargazing adventure. And while this is still a great possibility, since the episode 9 trailer dropped, I, and other people, have begun to think maybe Jax was the one who suggested it, since this scene in the trailer has very similar vibes. Now, I don't think this is a super important question to be answered, and it could still easily be Kinger. It's just something interesting to keep in mind. Why did Jax's tail disappear? And come back? It probably means or symbolizes something, right? Especially since there was so much attention drawn to it. I'm not sure though. Is Abstragedy canon? Probably the most important question in this video and the Amazing Digital Circus. And the answer is yes. Definitely yes. There's not much more to be said. It's very definitely canon, and don't you dare ask about it for anybody because I don't care, and also it's not canon. Backstories. This is a very open subject. I won't go too crazy. I know we already got some backstories, but we can always use more, especially since Jax never really had much backstory explained. Did Jax cause Ribbit and Kaufmo to abstract? It's kind of implied that some of the circus members think Jax is responsible for Kaufmo and Ribbit's abstraction. I don't necessarily think he did, though, and if he did, it definitely wasn't intentional. But we are definitely getting flashbacks, so there's a good chance we'll find out. Basically everything about Ribbit. And Kaufmo too, I guess. More backstories, more backstories. Backstories that will probably be revealed via flashback. But there's a lot to unlock here. What did Jax do? These flashbacks we see, which I assume are true and not just caused by Caine, who knows what happened? But it was not good, that's for sure. Of course that was in the real world, but we still need to know what happened in the circus, because I'm thinking there's no way he was always like this. Who is Abel? Is Abel Abel? Is Bubble Abel? Is this blue dot Abel? The answer very well may be all three. Just one, or none of the above. I do believe Goose said something about the blue dot not actually being Abel, but I could be wrong on that. I'm still choosing to believe that that's Abel. And then Abel could still be Abel. Because he said, I'm not a creation of Caine, while also never actually saying he was human. So maybe he is Abel and he was created by humans and not Caine. But my friend has a way more in-depth video about Abel, so you should definitely go watch that when you're done. What happened to Scratch? Kinger mentioned Scratch after Caine talks about not doing too much to their minds, otherwise bad things would happen. I'm thinking this means that Caine did something to Scratch's mind that caused him to abstract. This may or may not have any plot relevance, but I'm still very curious. Did Caine cause Kinger to be crazy? So Caine actually was altering their minds, which makes everyone think Caine is the reason Kinger is the way he is. I don't know why this would fail in the dark, though. Anyway, we will find out very soon in episode 9 whether this is true or not, since with Caine gone, this would no longer apply, like how the swear sensor broke after he died. What happened to CNA? So, I guess we technically kind of already got CNA lore, but still, what happened? Because the building has obviously been abandoned, and I don't think every CNA employee got trapped in the circus. So what happened? Who knows? Probably Goose. Is Kinger evil? Some people think Kinger killed Caine intentionally. I don't think this. In fact, I'm pretty positive that he's not evil. There's this video explaining Kinger's coding that also talks about how he's not evil. I think it's worth checking out. Who killed Caine? So then, if Kinger didn't kill Caine, then who did? Maybe it was Kinger, though I heavily doubt it. But a lot of people suspect Bubble, and I'm not against this theory. It's pretty solid. I guess it could also be someone or something else, because maybe it really is just a code living inside the computer. Will Caine come back? No. He is dead, for sure. But he may also come back. But not in his entirety. My guess is maybe a backup of Caine lives somewhere, but he obviously wouldn't have his current memories. Lots of people also think he'll come back as a bee. I don't really believe in this theory, though. So that's pretty much all I have to say, but like I said in the beginning, this isn't actually everything, but absolutely let me know if I miss anything in the comments. I also know that this isn't everything that needs to be done in the finale. We still have character arcs to finish and such. I just wanted to lean more on the theory side of things. And if I don't respond to comments, I'm very sorry. If you don't know, the finale got leaked, and I want to avoid spoilers, so I may be weary of the comment section for a bit. Anyway, thanks for watching, bye!